Welcome to this Lead 222 videocast, part of our leadership training series.
What's on my heart for youth leaders is the teaching of Jesus, where he said to be in the world but not of the world, protect yourself from evil, be protected from the evil one, and just to be leading missional lives personally, and then to be leading youth to understand what a missional life is like while they're in high school and preparing them for post-high school years, leading a missional life in the world. Currently reading two great books. One is by Norm T. Wright, which is called The Hope of Heaven, and it's a really great perspective of looking at what heaven is or what heaven isn't. It talks about the afterlife and also this life. And I'm also reading Tim Keller's Reason for God, which is kind of an apologetics book, and he's a pastor in New York City, and he deals with a lot of non-Christians, and it's a really encouraging, strong book to read about having reasons for what we believe. And it was written actually for non-Christians. Say for my entire life as a Christian, having somebody in my life. It was initially a 67-year-old man that became my father-in-law that was meeting with me weekly, asking how I was doing, asking the hard questions. Currently I have a friend who does that. We actually do it for each other. He's about the same age as me, and we have kind of a mutual sort of accountability of just being absolutely gut honest, and it's just needed in our life, and I can't imagine not having that in our life. I think there's always going to be a tension between senior pastors and youth leaders. I think it's just part of the nature of it, because youth leaders will be constantly pushing things and stretching things, and they're probably immersed in culture pretty deeply, in a good way, hopefully. And I think the senior pastor then always has to be watching that. And so the relationship is seeing someone that's usually older, more mature. You still have to respect their authority and be ultimately listening to what their charge is about the church and what their vision is. At the same time, be able to pull and to be stretching and pushing things, but have that relationship is, to me, is critical with the youth leader and the senior pastor, especially if you're an innovative youth leader. Living a missional life and being salt and light to people outside of the church is not really a program or something that we have to figure out and read about or something. It's really just saying, I am going to put myself out in the life of somebody else outside of the church. And as a person that's on a paid position at a church, that's my job, so to speak, I had to then carve 2 days a week where instead of like studying in my office, I study off-site in a coffee house. Instead of meeting people in the office on one day, I meet them in this coffee house. Therefore, I'm getting relationships with the people who work there, and then I have 3 days in the coffee house and 2 days in the, 3 days in the church office and 2 days in the coffee house. But it has to be intentional, or probably will never happen, because we'll always just drift to wanting to be hanging in the church office or hanging with Christians all the time, and we have to be intentional about changing that. With Lead 222, it's stressing the importance of connecting in relationships with other youth leaders, and I know that my entry into the whole youth ministry world was actually with Bo, and it was developing a network with him in the very first year, about 17 years ago, which to this day, I still met one of the guys just today here. Strong relationships, we're all in this together, we needed each other, we can ask each other questions, and it was a very important part of my life.
Thanks for watching this Lead 222 videocast. For more information, visit our website at lead222.com.